Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make your first batch of beer using the starter kit. To start with, what you're going to want to do is get everything organized. So one of the things that I recommend you do is you start off by marking out where the 10 liter mark is, the 20 liter mark is, and the 23 liter mark is on your fermenter. Later on it will come in very handy. So the other thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put anything that you're going to use inside your fermenter and sanitize it. So to do that, what you're going to want to do is get about half a cup of bleach, put it inside the fermenter, fill it with warm, very warm water. It doesn't have to be boiling, but it should be warm water. Fill it up, let it sit for half an hour. Once it's done, rinse it, and then you're ready to start brewing. Now that everything has been sanitized, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that all of your equipment is ready and in proper working condition. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put the temperature strip on the side of the fermenter, because temperature is very important when you're brewing beer. The second thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your lid, make sure you put the rubber seal inside the lid and the rubber seal for the airlock inside the lid for the fermenter as well. Finally, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the plug out of the bottom of the fermenter that it's shipped with and install the valve into the bottom of the fermenter as shown. Now that you've got all your equipment ready to go, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your malt concentrate and you're going to want to put the can inside of a warm pot of water so that you can heat up the concentrate so that it makes it easier to pour. What you're going to want to do now is take 1 kilogram of sugar, put it inside the fermenter, and then mix with hot water. So I'm just going to put the sugar inside, a whole kilogram of sugar. Then I'm going to take 2 liters of hot water, put it inside the fermenter. Next, I'm going to use my spoon and make sure that the sugar is all mixed in so that the water is clear again. Now that I've got the sugar all mixed in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my can of malt concentrate back out of the hot water and I'm going to put it into the fermenter with the sugar solution. Because the malt concentrate is very thick, what I suggest doing is putting in a little bit of hot water and mixing it around in the can, and that way you can get the rest of the syrup out of the can. Now that the sugar and malt concentrate is all mixed in, what you want to do is top up your fermenter to the 23 liter mark with fresh, clean drinking water. So now that you've got your fermenter topped up to 23 liters, you're going to want to take your spoon and make sure you mix it all very thoroughly and everything is all mixed in. Now that I'm finished mixing up the wort, what I'm going to want to do is check the temperature. My temperature is 26 degrees, which is great, because what I want to ensure is that the temperature is between 21 and 27 degrees before I add the yeast. Now, if it is not, what you can do is you can add ice or you can add hot water to either warm up or cool down the wort before you add in the yeast. It's very important that the temperature is not too high when you're adding the yeast. Before I add the yeast to the wort, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hydrometer to test the specific gravity of the wort. Now, I have a reading of about 1.046, which is perfect for beer. Now that I've recorded the starting specific gravity of the beer and ensured that my temperature is below 27 degrees and above 21, I am now going to add the yeast. Now that I've added the yeast, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the wort thoroughly to make sure that the yeast gets mixed in there very well. Now that I'm finished mixing the wort, I'm going to put the lid on and make sure that the fermenter is sealed nice and tight. The last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fill my airlock with water, put the cap on the airlock, and put the airlock onto the fermenter. Now that I've got my airlock installed and the lid on nice and tight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit this aside for 6 to 10 days. After that, I'm going to come back, I'm going to check it with the hydrometer and make sure that it's ready to be bottled. Okay, it's been a week and I've taken another reading with my hydrometer and I can see that the specific gravity is back down to 1, which means it's time to bottle the beer. Before I put the beer in the bottles, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime the bottles first. I'm going to do that by adding 8 grams of sugar to each bottle. Now that I've got the bottle primed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the bottle with beer from the valve using the bottle filler. Once I've filled each bottle, all I need to do is put the lid on, give the bottle a little bit of a shake just to make sure that the sugar is mixed into the beer so that the bottle will be primed and full of CO2 when it's ready to be drank. All I need to do is wait for another 6 to 10 days and then I can start enjoying my beer.